a very early chat live broadcast because I wanted to discuss the Crimean Bridge. And you may have seen that the Crimean Bridge was attacked during the night. It now appears, at the time I'm doing this, I don't know, but it appears to me as though this were a missile attack. That obviously I don't know, it hasn't been confirmed by either source. I was informed about an hour and a half ago, and I looked up what RIA Novosti, the Moscow official press organ, had to say about it, and they claimed that this had been caused by an accident with a tanker, a rail tanker, presumably. Nonetheless, I don't think, having seen it and having seen a number of places which have been hit by missiles, bridges, that is to say, I've seen a number of bridges which have been hit by missiles, it does look to me as though this were a missile attack. Of course, it could have been by something else, I don't know. Now, in Kiev, in May, I made a video about why Ukraine doesn't attack the Crimean Bridge. And the reason that I gave at the time was I thought that this was perhaps not the best use of resources. And thing is, since then, the situation has changed. And at the time, I thought, okay, well, this bridge is clearly a major transport hub. Supplies which are going through Crimea, military materials would be taken through it. It's a very delicate, even, transport hub, and it represents, from that point of view, obviously a major target. But the problem was then that it was outside, it's at the very limits of Ukrainian cruise missile range, as I understand them. And that's point number one. And number two, there must have been a huge amount of resources put into defending it by the invaders. So the fact now that it's being attacked, because obviously Ukraine is advancing in the south, in the Kherson Oblast, and it would seem also in places in the Zaporizhia Oblast. So therefore, troops here will not be able to supply themselves particularly well. I'm unaware of what resources that the fascists have in Crimea at present, but I suspect it is not enough to keep the conflict going and supplying those resources that it has in the Kherson Zaporizhia Oblast. That is to say that they will now have to be supplied by via the Donbass, via above all the Donetsk Oblast. And as far as I can tell, all that the roads, communications, railway lines, they are all now under Ukrainian artillery reach. Now, one thing I do want to say about this bridge is the following. In 1943, 42-43, the German army, an incredible feat, an incredible engineering achievement, built a cableway across, and this allowed the German armies in the Taman Peninsula to actually stay there for a very long time. Absolutely incredible. And if you look at the battles from the Taman Peninsula, and you see the massive amount of military resources which were then there, and so this is from an engineering point of view, an incredible achievement. And I think it's because this cableway was destroyed. I don't think enough credit is given to it. To me, it's one of those things which I find quite amazing, because the amount of supplies that must have had to have gone through it. And certainly the Russian state would this achievement build a cableway? No, it's not going to build a cableway. The bridges can't be repaired. Railway lines can be repaired very easily, or quite easily anyway, which is one of the arguments that I was putting up before. To make a template, it's relatively straightforward. And this is one of the arguments I've sort of used before as well. No, at the time of saying this, there was even Ukrainians. It may have been a Russian resistance and anti-fascist are of importance. Anyway, if you haven't seen the video of it, which is very short in any case, I've got it on my Facebook site, a link to which will be below as soon as I finish this doing this live broadcast. Now, thing is, what do you think? Do you think this is I don't know if anybody has any opinions. This is, from a morale point of view, extremely morale boosting for the Ukrainian side. This is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, symbol of Putin's fascist imperialism, and this has come down. At least that's how it's going to be presented. It hasn't come down. I suspect it can be repaired relatively easily. The bridge dates to what, 2018? Indeed, I was supposed to be going over it 3 years ago. It certainly is a major, the bridge itself is a major engineering achievement. It's for two reasons. First of all, if you want to build anything, you have to get planning permission to do so, and you have to get planning permission from the appropriate authorities. And in this case, the Russian authorities did not get planning permission to build it. They just stuck it up. The planning permission had obviously come from the rightful government, and the rightful government was Ukrainian. Furthermore, this also blocked the shipping, potentially blocked shipping, which was going to Ukraine, unoccupied Ukraine. Now it's been occupied, of course, but in the Sea of Azov, which has been completely occupied now, but then it wasn't. So it was a naked act of imperialist aggression, the attack on Crimea, and this was a symbol of this aggression which is done by Putin. Now, I would say one thing. I get comments, people saying, well, as far as Crimea is concerned, isn't Crimea aren't the population Russian? Well, Russians certainly. Oh, telephone's given up. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to finish because of the problem on the telephone battery is giving up. So thanks for being here, and I'll report back later.
Aby skonfigurować swoje konto, nie zajmuje